Yeah.
So, welcome to Ram's interview with industry experts. And today I have a very interesting person with us. Before I introduce him, let me just quickly say who I am. There, and some people will not know. I'm Ram Krishnan, the Managing Director of GenSource India Private Limited, business direction designer, and a coach. Our organization, GenSource India Private Limited, provides the business direction designer services. I have 350 plus years of collective corporate experience, person years of collective corporate experience, people working with me in the process excellence, people development, technology implementation, knowledge management, innovation, business finance, and corporate real estate and facilities. More information about us can be held from www.gensource.in. And it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Krupakaran Naidu, currently the board member, Knowledge Committee of Infra. And one of the things he has done, first is it's better we start with his book. That is an interesting thing. It's your life. Love it, live it, don't delay it. And here, same line. Another thing is it's your life. Uh, it's your choice, right? Yes.
Yeah.
And it's your life. It's your family. That's what is coming up. And he's a person. If you want anything you wanted to do in life, you may have to go to him and look at what is that you would like to do. And he had an illustrious career of 42 plus year professional career. Out of that, more than half of it is spent with lot of pride with the defense, and it's an air force. And he has done, and they're also are part of the air force. Some of the thing is he worked on specialized design and development, import substitution in avionic system, electronic warfare system, and there are many assignments he had in that. And today's generation, it may find it easier to work with technology and other things, and he had to do many of those things starting from the scratch and getting it done and learn and do it. That is the way he has done it. And then when he came in from the Air Force, and more than 22 plus years, he has been with the various corporates and startups, and there are new ideas, new things which has worked. And one of the things is when he was telling me, it is quite amazing, is today when people go for an IPO, he said all bankers did not leave him and saying that we here, we will try to see to do that. And he has to choose rather than other way around, saying that we try to look at finding out the bank, which bank will give loan and which bank will wanted to work with us and kind of a thing. They created such a kind of a product that talks about more than me telling what he has done and other thing. These are the example talks about how illustrious his career was. And today we find many people find when they are going on IPO trying to please the bank rather than he had the bank, he has to choose the bank, which bank he wanted to go with it. That is the kind of a thing he created on that. And he also, in the teaching profession also, he worked as a visiting professor to the engineering colleges I have done. And he is the most admired and respectable member of the facilities management community now today, along with infra across the country, doing a lot of work. It's my privilege to interview him and work with him and talk to him for the next 15, 20 minutes, 20, 25 minutes or so. And we'll learn from him what is it we do. Thanks, Mr. Kripa, for joining this
Thank you, Ram. Thank you
interview.
so much. You have been very kind and nice, and then I do not know whether I deserve all those nice words, but then factually, yes, I have traversed all these things through. And
Yes.
whatever in life, one thing I learned is if you want to do something, do it with passion. Do it with utmost dedication and commitment. Don't look at the end result. It will come fetching you, it will chasing you. That's been the thing. I learned it as early as 1978. If I may be permitted to narrate an incident, one of our units, a helicopter, in a normal communication flight, it was flying at an altitude of 17,000 feet near Kerong. It crashed. And I was as a part of the court of inquiry team, and as a member of the team, I recommended that aircraft to be recovered because it can be used for, the crashed parts can be used for training. We call something called a mobile conversion flight, MCF, those days.
Right.
So in that, at least those parts can be used. But generally, a part from a crashed aircraft or anything will never be used again in operation because we do not know about the quality and reliability of those, even if it is performing well in the lab conditions. So at 18,000 feet, when I went to recover it, there was a knee-deep snow. It was an October month, you can imagine. Me and my team, the floor team, we went there and then we were surprised how to do it. And then lack of oxygen and taking one step is equivalent to walking almost half a kilometer without acclimatization. So, but we recovered that. And at that point, what happened was when we brought back, to cutting the story short, we recovered the engine, we recovered most of the panels, this, that, instrumentation panels, and as many things, whatever we could collect, and then put it back, and then modified the helicopter to carry as much load. A lot of things we did, some improvised structural internal modification to accommodate those stuff into the helicopter, again, back to the base. My chief engineering officer was so thrilled and impressed, and then he was recommending me for some medal, but then, other people had other ideas and they said, oh, he's too young to be given. I didn't know how to react to that, but then I said, oh, okay, maybe this is how it works. This is how it works. So I felt that, okay, don't look for any medal or rewards or awards or something. If a test to come, it will come to you. You work with your head high and then be focused on the work. Why I'm saying that is, they don't look for something to come to you and then work towards that, but you just work. You work with the utmost dedication, commitment, and passion. You will get the best results. You will get the best results from your team, which is working with you, or you are teaming up with somebody.
Correct.
And the results will always be very successful. And I think there will be many smiling faces. There will be more satisfaction for you when you go to bed, and then you will have a peaceful sleep. And at least you will not have, if you have friends or not, I don't know, but you will never have enemies. So
that's exactly right. One of the things, if you ask me also why we are doing all this interview series, is to learning from experiences. It's very, very important in current days, either it is a startup, micro, small and medium enterprises. All of them are looking at current situation and all other things. So given that, and I'm sure you working in Air Force or coming back from there, nothing is difficult kind of situation. Everything has to be faced and looked at in reality. And we are just talking about in the 6-7 months or so difficult, so kind of a thing. And that is where we are trying to do this series of interviews and give them, saying that how they can look at and come some of those lessons which we can learn from the life. What you said is absolutely correct. And something we need to, you have an idea, have a passion, chase the passion with single-minded determination, and things will work out and you are able to do that. That's great. And that's what you also touched upon. One of the things, first thing I wanted to ask is also, yes, for you, it is not new kind of a thing. A lot of uncertainty also develops new heroes, which is, I'm sure, you have worked in a lot of uncertain environment. Change opens the new
vistas. Like necessity is the mother of invention. It's always the basics. Stick to the basics. If there is a thing, and then try and then solve that problem.
Yes.
You should always be focused in solving a problem, which will get attention. A person pays you or respects you of two things. One is out of your power that you wield, or the respect that you can command from that person. And that comes in when you deliver something which meets that person's requirement. You see that? If you meet the other person's requirement, then he starts respecting you, and the respect may be paid back in terms of monetary or otherwise. Anything may be coming back. I think many people miss this, and they start identifying an issue or a problem with the more focused on making how much returns I will get it from this, or what is the money involved in that, or monetary or materialistic, macro
Right.
level, if I want to call it like that. So that approach should first be removed. If you want to be an entrepreneur, it's like doing a PhD. You know, when I was doing my post-graduation in IISc, the postgraduates were doing, the doctorates were doing it for years. There was a
Yes.
person who was doing it for 13 years.
Correct.
13 years he was doing a postgraduate, sorry, doctoral philosophy,
Doctorate. Yes.
doctorate. Uh, and to me, whether you are finding a problem or finding it so hard to solve a problem, what you have found. In 13 years, the problems could take different dimensions. You see that?
Yes.
And it would have transcended many spaces and things like that. Of course, nowadays, I think the IITs and the institutions and governing bodies have come out to the control. It should not exceed beyond some time limit they have fixed. The PhD is you have to identify a problem first. After time, in our institutions, finding problem is a research most of the time.
Correct.
Then they start finding the solution to that. So similarly, entrepreneurial thing or a startup, if you want to see, you have to address the problem.
And what I've learned some of these days is basically you have certain things, how some of those skills and knowledge what you have, how that is going to help the person
Yeah.
you are going to look at
Yeah.
it. No, see what is the need, how it is going to improve his life or improve his thing.
Quality of
most
life.
important.
I'll put it
Quality of life. Quality of life.
Anything
Which
what
is
you
most
do
important.
should enhance the quality of life of a human being.
Correct.
In a very large scale, if you really look at it as a humanity as one scale and then trying to see that, then you will transcend from your village to your town to a city to a metro to a cosmopolitan area, and then slowly India level and then even international level you'll go.
Right.
You see Apple, the greatest innovations what they have done. All that they did was make it as simple as possible. Even a child, a baby could operate that. Gone are those days when computers were privy to learned, educated people, right? Now you see that the Apple products, for that matter, I'm not trying to position that
Position
company as
promote.
something, but then from a technological innovation, if you really look at it,
Yes.
they have made leaps and bounds of transforming the way one person can operate a computer, and the computer coming into your hand in the form of an iPad, and then phone, a smartphone, and the way it is operating and all those things like that, right? So that's what is called as solving the problems of the common man and making it as easy as possible.
Yeah, user friendly. In this case, is how you make with the people as you so user friendly.
Yeah.
And get it done. It's also again, as you rightly said, solving the problem. Basically, in order to learn some of the complex things, so how
Yeah.
easily I can start adopting and start using the things, which is great. That's what see as all of us need to look at. That is definitely as the startup or the entrepreneurs, everyone has to focus on that, saying that what you have, how that is going to help others and enhance the life of others and improve the things of others. That's correct. So when coming to this today, it is transformation, and also the real-time transformation is something which is key. Everyone talks about it, saying that we need to look at. So given and also the current situation, and a lot of things have changed from what it was prior to COVID and currently also. What is that you think? What are your thoughts on this? How people need to look at this transformation piece of it?
Corona or COVID has really transformed the world and transformed the humanity, transformed every field of it, made whatever you felt that was very close to you as redundant. It is not required for you. It's across the board. Across the board means howsoever high and well-to-do, educated or uneducated you are, or down to the earth like that. I think it is a greatest learning, and the nature has played a great role in trying to bring back the normal normalcy or normalizing the nature itself, if you really see. Uh, they were talking about air pollution, noise pollution, or sound pollution, or many pollutions they were talking about. All those things have been reset. Ground level
Mm.
zero has been brought down because of the human beings were the most polluters in all senses. Pollution from mind, pollution from air, pollution from their industrial output, and then the natural resources of water, earth, sky, everything they were polluting it in the name of growth, progress, more focused on materialistic world. I feel today the people have been grounded back to realize for you to survive in this world, you need very basic minimum things. If you really see that your requirements have been brought down to such a small level that you can survive, you are still happy. Your
Correct.
family has become happier rather, because you are staying together, and then the family connections have become better and strong. But for a few things which is always having a other side of the coin, like we'll always have something. But if you really look at it in a very globalistic sense, everything has been set to zero. Ground zero has been brought down. The pollution levels have come down. Water in Ganga, which they were spending crores and thousands of crores of rupees to get it cleaned, it's flowing clean, crystal clear water. At least I have seen it with my own eyes. It's happening there. You see the skies of Delhi, the pollution index, or from the space, the NASA or any other agencies, when they publish the pollution graphs, all the red spots, black spots have been moved or removed. Very small levels, minuscule levels are visible from the sky. So it's a very great leveler. I'll put it that way. It's a very great leveler. And yes, when something like that of drastic thing happens, everything gets reset to some zero start. The economy
Right.
gets to a zero start. Your style of living, your maturity, your materialistic approach towards life, and how you look at your left and right, and above and below, and then around you. How do you want to handle with people? What do you want to do with them becomes this. And the industrial production, or what you need to do now going forward, that thinking has changed. Financial
Right.
savings and schemes, and then holding the money or anything like that, whether it has got a meaning or not, how to put your better use, that has changed. A lot of changes have happened. I think we can talk on what changes it has caused to the human mind, humanity as a whole, or the world as a whole, in all its spheres. Agriculture to industrial production to anything you touch upon that, everything has been set to sort of brought down to a zero level.
Yeah. Like I see, one of the things is I always observe in the roadside, if you look at everybody, the technology and the payment, no, there's
Yeah.
nothing like a cash transaction is happening anywhere.
Yes.
It is absolutely zero kind of a thing. Everything is through the e-transactions only.
Yeah.
Either it may be a 10 rupees you buy something, or 10,000 rupees you buy something.
It
Everything
has
has
also given space for some new technologies, new areas coming up. One is the
correct.
digitalization. If you
Yes.
remember, we were talking in India about digital economics, and
Yes.
everything is digital India, like that we're talking, and then that was being considered as, oh no, how is it possible? We are a poor country, we are illiterate people, and things like that. Now, with the smartphone invention itself and the internet invasion itself, if you really see, the large part of our India has been covered, even to the corners of the
Correct.
India. I
Correct.
can see a old lady selling fruits on the street. He having a solar cell based weighing machine which works, and solar cell based electrical, small package electricity developing, with which she can do communication for online payment using the various UPIs. Whether it is a gateway of UPIs, I'm taking like whether it is a Beam, whether it is a Phone Pay, or sorry, Google Pay, anything you can use it with electricity and internet
Right.
connectivity. Like that,
Right.
she uses that. To that level, the digital economics is grown drastically, very high. And second thing is, I think going forward, the hygiene, sense of hygiene,
Right.
staying healthy, eating healthy, those concepts have come back more seriously into the minds. So there was a fad, or there was a new thrust for making organic foods. Those things have now become order of the day. No more, they may not call it organic food, healthy food. Now they'll healthy diet. They will call, and then they will cut all those flabs, which is not adding positivity to the human biological, systems. And they will always start taking and consuming food which is minimal, which is required, which is healthy, and which builds your immunity. Third thing is, the mask or breathing or staying away, and hygiene, without touching and without polluting yourself and then inside or outside or something like that. Those things is going to come order of the day. Even if the vaccine comes or not, but still this will always be then, the sense of awareness will always come in. So it has given opportunity for now the PPE, the personal protective equipment company.
Right.
And if I'm not wrong, I think we are the third largest PPE manufacturers and exporters. Till recently, the last what I heard was India is exporting close to 7 to 9,000 crores of worth of PPE equipment, exporting.
Right.
So it's where the government industry is falling down because of the sales and other things are falling down, but they have caught up with the changing norms, changing requirements of the market, started making this. I'm also seeing, I've not seen physically in the market per se in a shop or shopper stop or something like that, but I've seen a lot of things where they branded thing like Allen Solly or Mark and Spencer's, their shirt, they are being marketing it along with the associated mask. The same cloth used for the
Yeah,
same
yeah, yeah.
design is
They are
used,
using.
something
All
like
of
that.
them are doing.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then I'm also seeing in developed Western Europe's where they're coming out with a mask which is jewelry or ornamental based, targeting towards the women, for them to use it like jewelry and additional,
Yeah. Yes.
an ornament, something like that. That means the wearing mask is going to be order of the day to stay safe. And how it is going to be made is what is going to be deciding. Whether it is simple cloth mask, a 3-ply mask, or a jewelry mask, or ornamental mask. But mask, that's the underlying fact is mask is common. Then washing and then hygiene, um, which in Indian culture, if I'm not wrong, there was a time when people come from outside, they used to wash their feet and then enter into the house.
Right.
Wash their feet and hand, and then only they enter into the house. And they also, most of the time, when they come in the evening or something, they used to remove the clothes, put it for washing. So those things were traditionally being followed and practiced. Those things are coming into force, per force, and by force now. If you run around and come back, you better directly go to the washed place and wash your hands with all that. That gives rise to marketing or developing a product called a sanitizer, and you call it whatever it
Overall,
is.
I think it's a wellness and wellness
Wellness, yeah.
related things are
Those
going to
things
be.
have again come into the market. So that has again picked up. The liquor industry or the alcohol manufacturing industries have started focusing on these lines also in diverting their industrial alcohol content to make this product of sanitizers.
Correct.
Now you see the temperature measurement, the hand gun, infra, touchless and distance.
Oxygen measurement and everything is
Oxygen
there.
measurement. So the
All those
baking
things, it's
product, healthcare
definitely,
products,
yeah.
friend and my co-brother and alumnus of IISc and IITs, put
Mm.
together, we have come out with a mask making machine, a CNC
Mm.
machine, in a very
Mm.
short time, and which produces a mask per second, one mask per second, 3-ply mask, such a
Right.
rapid, and that machine can be used in a big corporate where they need masks, of hundreds and thousands like that, use and throw type, that sort of a thing.
Mm.
Mask cost,
Mm.
manufacturing cost is about ₹1.50, something like that. So it's like almost like a napkin, use and throw like that, so that you get hygiene conditions can be maintained like that. Another thing I am seeing is the industry is moving towards everything is becoming touch free. Some shops earlier days used to have the IR beams coming onto you, and when they sense and then the doors used to open, you walk without touching the door and things like that. And preferably in airports and some other places like that, it used to be there where in the restrooms and all the touch free things. Now it has become invaded into your day-to-day life. Everywhere it is going to become touch free. So much so, I saw in a temple, the so-called Tirtha dispensation
Yes.
is,
That's become touch free. Yeah.
the Prohit or the priest keeps the Tirtha behind in a container. IR sensors are there. You put your hand below and it drops a predetermined quantity in your hand and it stops. So
Yes.
it has become touch free. So bell ringing, I've seen it in a temple again. You'd have to wave your hand against a sensor there near the bell, and the bell
Yes.
rings in a temple like that. So what I'm trying to say is, where to where all this technology innovation has happened to make the touch-free operations. So that's something like a industrial thing, right? So these are all some startups. Somebody is doing it. Need of the hour, meeting the public requirement, which is necessity, and it solves a problem.
Correct.
You go high, low, whatever it is, but there will be many. But this will become part and parcel of your lifestyle going forward, like that.
No,
And
that's correct. I think you have just laid out those opportunities are plenty. That is the one people have to look at. If you start thinking of it, there are so many. Anything you look at it, there are multiple opportunities. And how do they look at it and systemize it and start taking it and working on it, rather than just worrying about what has happened and what is it you are going to do is what is going
you
to be
see
the
what you
order
can
of
do
the.
with it, what you can do, and which part of that you can attend, which part of that you can
Yes.
solve. It should be that approach. There are one way is sitting back and then sort of lamenting or whining and oh, okay, I've been confined to this 4x4 room or 10x10 room,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
and things like that, all that. And there is something like, okay, this problem is there. So how do we contribute to solve that problem? Or what is that thing that I can help in removing that problem, either temporarily or permanently or something like that?
Correct.
That could be the ways, how you can make your life much better and you can add value to the.
Great, sir. I think you've given all the summary. In summary, I just wanted you to give for all this. Again, definitely you have given a lot of inputs. If you have to quickly summarize it, what is it some of these startups and entrepreneurs need to start doing it, looking at it? If you have to say that four or five things
If I may
in.
say, the entrepreneur,
Hmm. Hmm.
first and foremost, he should be understanding what is his strengths. It's something like
Hmm.
a very basics like strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat, like which we call it typically in a management parlance, SWOT analysis.
Right.
So he has to really do that to understand, put his strengths on paper and board, and then see that, okay, how to exploit these strengths. Whether these strengths are in line with the present problem solving areas. You should know, you have to map that strengths into problem solving. So once you reach a problem solving, there could be hurdles and an ideation should happen. How to solve
Hmm.
that problem? What is the problem that I want to solve? And that ideation should happen. And you may be very hazy, very nebulous or enigmatic, and then you are not. But you know you want to solve that problem. You know you want to solve that problem like that, right? So once you try to attempt that, then the solutions will start falling in. You will stumble a couple of times because you will learn from that, right? The failures are the stepping stones for the success like that. And then you
Right.
have the perseverance. And drive in you, it should never be curbed. It should always be the fire in the belly should always be burning. And it should always be kept on and active. And you should always be focused and marching towards that, trying to see how am I going to. Then selectively or collectively seek, don't hesitate in trying to say, I don't know, I want to have advice or I want to solicit this input from you. Go ask people whom you consider, take whatever they give, what is applicable to you, read the rest, listen to many people, and then you formalize, you crystallize, and then slowly give a shape to that, and then come out with the thought a solution, it could be alpha, beta, gamma, and final solutions like that. It will always happen. Many of us, what we don't or we lack is we have either some strength as there, like money. I have enough money. Okay, done. I'll get this thing solved. I'll put 10 people on the job and I'll get the problem solved like that. No, that won't get to the market or get to the reach of the people who are really having a solution to that problem. You see that? There's a difference. But when a solution comes in solving a problem, at that point in time, there will be many takers. They will come. They will appreciate because their problems are getting solved. You see that? That way.
Right.
You should not invent a problem again, mind you. You should see there is so many problems are there in the society in this present era of COVID, Corona, which has already thrown haywire the lifestyle itself. So you have to choose a particular area and then go in that. It may be the segment, maybe a small, the segment can be broad, big base, low volume, high cost, high volume, low cost, like that. It will be there, the variations will be there. So we need to march in that direction. That's what I would say. If you want to be an entrepreneur to start with, you have to have these ideas, you have to have this thought and make step in that direction. The information security. Yeah.
That's a great input, and thank you very much. I'm sure with all your experience, we can keep talk and give a lot of input. Maybe I will do another interview and get some more, and we will do it. See, one other thing also, we don't want to put these people, when they look at it, they should be everybody is caught pressed for time. I don't want to give them a larger interview, so that we are trying to put it as compressed of 20-25 minutes, so it is easy for them to look at. Maybe we'll come up with series of capsules with you, so that it will be a good thing for them to understand and look at this. It's great having you. Thanks, Mr. Krupa, again for accepting my invite and being here on Ram's interview with industry experts. And really, it's a pleasure to have you and a lot of inputs. And I'm sure all entrepreneurs will find it useful and start working on it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ram. Thank you so much. So nice of you and calling me. I'm always available if in case my inputs are going to help in any way, add value. I'll be more than happy to extend that thing and look forward to that. Thank you so much. It was very nice being with you and talking to you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Bye.